show you the way. DJing hours or by the book. Nowhere to hide, come take a look. Rake trades, debate trades, it all gets done while the man chills out under the Puerto Rican sun. Chat cooling out for one last trade. When the DJ now with sign flashes, it's on the way. Load up the Evo, contracts times 10. Look for that failure, trigger and do it again. Break out of the range and keep on with the trend. We're here doing DJ hours with all of our friends. Every day if we're green or red. Sometimes you just got a hood rap DJ and shit with your friends. Pour that Guinness or spark the J. We're gonna DJ with the sign on either way. Every day we got bored down. We're gonna yee an evil and go for the crown. Yeah, pour that Guinness and spark the J. Time for DJing. I was the rake trays. Wait. Yo, just that time again. Yo, it's that time again. Better flip the switch. Everybody scratching at the extra trade itch. Pour the Guinness, grind the tree. Always on live for all to see. Split the G and light the J. Come with rate, let them show you the way. DJ hours or buy the book. Nowhere to hide, come take a look. Rake trades, debate trades, it all gets done while the man chills out under the Puerto Rican sun. Chat cooling out for one last trade. When the DJ now with sign flashes, it's on the way. Load up the Evo, contracts times 10. Look for that failure, trigger and do it again. Break out of the range and keep on with the trend. We're here doing DJ hours with all of our friends. Every day if we're green or red. Sometimes you just got a hood rap DJ and shit with your friends. Pour that Guinness or spark the J. We're gonna DJ with the sign on either way. Every day we got bored down. We're gonna yee an evil and go for the crown. Yeah, pour that Guinness and spark the J. Time for DJing. I was the rake trays. Wait. Yo, just that time again. Yo, it's that time again. Better flip the switch. Everybody scratching at the extra trade itch. Pour the Guinness, grind the tree. Always on live for all to see. Split the G and light the J. Come with rate, let them show you the way. DJ hours or buy the book. Nowhere to hide, come take a look. Rake trades, debate trades, it all gets done while the man chills out under the Puerto Rican sun. Chat cooling out for one last trade. When the DJ now with sign flashes, it's on the way. Load up the Evo, contracts times 10. Look for that failure, trigger and do it again. Break out of the range and keep on with the trend. We're here doing DJ hours with all of our friends. Every day if we're green or red. Sometimes you just got a hood rap DJ and shit with your friends. Pour that Guinness or spark the J. We're gonna DJ with the sign on either way. Every day we got bored down. We're gonna yee an evil and go for the crown. Yeah, pour that Guinness and spark the J. Time for DJing. I was the rake trays. Wait. Yo, just that time again. Yo, it's that time again. Better flip the switch. Everybody scratching at the extra trade itch. Pour the Guinness, grind the tree. Always on live for all to see. Split the G and light the J. Come with rate, let them show you the way. DJ hours or buy the book. Nowhere to hide, come take a look. Rake trades, debate trades, it all gets done while the man chills out under the Puerto Rican sun. Chat cooling out for one last trade. When the DJ now with sign flashes, it's on the way. Load up the Evo, contracts times 10. Look for that failure, trigger and do it again. Break out of the range and keep on with the trend. We're here doing DJ hours with all of our friends. Every day if we're green or red. Sometimes you just got a hood rap sign on either way. Every day we got bored down. We're gonna yee an evil and go for the crown. Yeah, pour that Guinness and spark the J. Time for DJing. I was the rake trays. Just that time again. Yo, it's that time again. Better flip the switch. Everybody scratching at the extra trade itch. Pour the Guinness, grind the tree. Always on live for all to see. Split the G and light the J. Come with rate, let them show you the way. DJ hours or buy the book. Nowhere to hide, come take a look. Rate trades, to bake trades, it all gets done while the man chills out under the Puerto Rican sun. Chat cooling out for one last trade. When the DJ now a sign flashes his sun away. Load up the Evo, contracts times 10. Look for that failure, trigger and do it again. Break out of the range and keep on with the trend. We're here doing DJ and I was with all of our friends. Every day if we're green or red. Sometimes you just got a hood rap DJ and shit with your friends. Pour that Guinness or spark the J. We're gonna DJ with the sign on either way. Every day we got bored down. We're gonna yee an evil and go for the crown. Yeah, pour that Guinness and spark the J. Time for DJing. I was the rake trays. Just that time again. Yo, it's that time again. Better flip the switch. Everybody scratching at the extra trade itch. Pour the Guinness, grind the tree. Always on live for all to see. Split the G and light the J. Come with rate, let them show you the way. DJ hours or buy the book. Nowhere to hide, come take a look. Rake trades, to bake trades, it all gets done while the man chills out under the Puerto Rican sun. Chat cooling out for one last trade. When the DJ now a sign flashes his sun away. Load up the Evo, contracts times 10. Look for that failure, trigger and do it again. Break out of the range.
What up, everybody? What's up?
Every day if we're green or red. Sometimes you just got a hood rap DJ and shit with your friends. Pour that Guinness or
How we doing? How's it, as they say? Hope you guys are doing well. What's up, Hellboy, Christoph, Vish, CJ, JDVWAP? What's up, guys? Fun day so far, huh? Pretty much stuck to the script. Caught it a couple different ways. I'm taking a highly speculative play here. Really dumb, actually. Super counterintuitive. Everything in my gut says this is a bad trade, but irrational exuberance by the market seems to be rewarded more often than not. So I'm playing for just a little scalpy squeeze kind of move, similar to what we had earlier. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So we'll see. The odds of coming back down are quite high on any failures to pop, but if we get the pop, it can go rapidly indeed. What's up, Com, TML, RJV? We'll see what we get here. Like I said, I'm not expecting a whole lot. I'll probably go to break even on something like this so I don't get my cheeks clapped here in a second, because it won't take much to reverse this whole thing and quickly. So what I'm banking on is kind of a bit of a short squeeze type move. I really don't want to risk this much. I was playing more for the quick scalp, so I'll probably get out of the way here. Just under 75. The idea is if we got some momentum and actually popped through this pretty strongly, we would be able to kind of carry through this zone. It was a highly speculative really dumb trade. If you guys are just joining, you probably heard me say this is a really, really dumb trade. The odds of this rejecting harshly are there, back down kind of towards this 55 area. Structurally, though, it's kind of like long from the floor, but I was late getting back to my desk before the stream. Otherwise, I would have tried to take it down here with tighter risk. But I saw we got this nice little pop, so I said, hey, if we get that momentum, I want to see if we can ride that wave. But right now it looks like we're probably going to sell this down really aggressively back towards that balance. So we'll see. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oh, guys. Not sure how you guys are doing with your summer. This feels like the longest summer of my life. Kids are so busy, so much stuff going on, and I am just exhausted lately. I don't think I've ever yawned this much on stream or otherwise. It is crazy. And that's despite me drinking copious amounts of coffee. But man, it is just a weird season for this guy. What's up, Matterman? I didn't take down the Gamma Jamma sign. The 3M strips that I used to put it up just to kind of see how it looked did not stick very well, which is crazy because those things can hold so much. So what I've still got to do is I've got to finish painting this wall. I got my record shelves that are going to go up because I'm not sure if you guys see, I've got kind of a crazy, I've got two sets of speakers behind me. I've got a mess of shit, but there's like a really nice Marantz record player. And I've got my gigantic Marantz 2230 mint amplifier. So if you guys are geeks for AV gear, check this out. Can you see? Record player. Holy shit. Huh? Huh? Yeah, baby. Thing's older than me. By a long ways. So yeah. That's my gear, and that's for the vintage tower speakers. And then these Kefs, these LS50Ws, are to stream to. Yeah, it's a record player and a big ass vintage stereo integrated amp. So I just kind of like the old mid-century kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm a gear junkie, so I restore old speakers and receivers where I can. If you guys followed me on Instagram, or maybe it was in the Discord, I don't remember, but I shared the vintage Sony stack inspiration from some dude, and I was like, God damn, I gotta get this stuff. So yeah, that is what I'm gonna do to finish up the room. I gotta get those record shelves on the wall to hold my stuff. And then this room will be a little bit more complete. Got to finish painting still. I went a little too gung-ho with that paint sprayer. So yeah, guys, the risk to me on this trade is just this overall structure pointing back down here. We got a lot to work against. Normally with this kind of action, this is like I said, this is actually a really stupid trade. It's not rooted in high probability outcome. So I am really not super jazzed about it getting there. I caught the initial short squeeze earlier, which was kind of from like here to here. This little pop, I called that one in the Discord saying, look for the squeeze. It's shaping up. We can kind of go over that. but there was just a lot of potential for this same kind of a shape move where if you got some momentum, you kind of squeezed these dealer short positions and just got the big momentum spike. Very similar to the CPI print. That same structure was there to allow for that kind of a move. So this trade here was kind of with the same thing, but I believe what you're seeing, even if you look at Bookmap, right, is you got a lot of stacked orders sitting here, just kind of passively absorbing this bidding. So the second this bidding turns off at all, you're gonna go back down. And we even see that in the structure here. This kind of 75-65 area is where there's also some passive orders. And then you've got your biggest block down below on Bookmap, which again represents kind of this structure, I think, really nicely. So those two things are dovetailing. But would I consider reversing it if it turned around? I mean, I would, but I'm already in this. I've honestly traded enough today. I have caught so many points. I took the long from here at 60 and caught this entire pump. So today feels like kind of being greedy. I did want to have something on for stream. I know a lot of times when I'm streaming, more often than not, I'm kind of done. And I don't have an active position on, or I'm like holding runners. So like I wanted to have something on for stream a little bit, and I saw the potential for like a pop type move. So I wanted to be able to exhibit that with you guys actually on stream and like, hey, this is kind of the potential for this move. I just don't really love it. I think it's I actually think this is a stupid trade from where I entered. Had I been at the desk and entered here with a much better R to R, I'd be like super pumped about this long, right? Like in the middle of this strike, risking the bottom of this one, kind of into your supportive range, right? And then saying, hey, if we can get some extension through this whole range on like a squeeze move, or even to here, or even just to the kind of current high, the top of the expected range on the straddle right now, all of those are much better R to R trades than what I'm in. This is like a really stupid trade, in my opinion. Like, this is like a real shit. I hate this trade that I'm in, but it's purely for like a squeeze type move. So it is what it is. Like, I honestly kind of want to go to break even because I loathe this entry so much. What's up, Leto? What's up, dude? Do I see that? I don't even know who Trades by Matt is. I have no idea who that is. I am honestly, guys, I'll tell you, for someone who's doing this on YouTube right now as part of Project 365, I'm kind of like blissfully ignorant to the overall trading space. I have no aims of being like a guru trade influencer. I am super not active at marketing myself on Instagram or here. Everything I do is pretty much in support of the project and the channel. And if people want help from me, they're going to get it. So I just don't pay attention to those guys. You're here for the arrows? Well, the arrows are kind of obvious today. I'm not going to lie, guys. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I have like a really nice M4 Mac Mini that's like super decked out and I've never had problems, but today is like, I can hear this thing running and it makes me so nervous that I'm going to like crash out on the stream. I think it's just the intensity of streaming and running all of this stuff. But the squeeze move for the arrow people is pretty much, I think you guys can already tell, the shape of like the descending nature. It's like the stairs, or that, if you guys saw it the other day, that kind of animation I shared around like pushing the ball up the mountain kind of thing. If you kind of crest the mountain peak here, you get some speed moving down the valley, because you know that if the market makers are also buying with that momentum, it can carry you pretty far in a very short amount of time. The same reason I called that kind of squeeze move that we ended up seeing here in the Discord earlier was off that kind of same basis, right? If we get the pop, once we get on the other side of that mountain, that ball wants to fucking roll down the valley until it slows down. We don't really have another big mountain peak until way up here, right? So the sexiness of this trade was with that idea in mind. If we can cover this one, kind of get through this little gap and cover this next mountain, maybe we get the pop. Which is why I mentioned the best risk to reward for this trade in particular was actually down here, right? Because you know you got this whole supportive structure behind you, right? So let's get the arrow gang in here. This is supportive, right? Why have we not come down further? Because this whole thing is kind of passively supporting us, right? We came back to that strongest balance and we held there. That's why I'm looking for that long, because I see the potential. The risk is if you fail here, the shape is also saying you're failing at like the most obvious spot to come right back down. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at, is when you look at the shape. When I talk about shape, when I draw the arrows, it's kind of a twofer. What does covering one lead to? What does that momentum propel you towards, right? Well, this one we covered, and this was kind of dead space. So we kind of fought this one for a few candles, right? Then we covered it, and now we're kind of in this little lull. Now we've got to get the momentum to crest this peak to pick up the momentum and roll that ball down the hill, right? We need to get this one covered now. And if we fail to cover it, it compels you to say, ooh, that could be a lot of momentum back down this way, which picks up and here, and then you're just hoping that the entirety of this down here kind of stems the tide, right? So the combination of that, just like the intermediate momentum trade, and then Toledo's question about gas and tinder on the fire, right, is the path and the arrows are also telling the charm story, the if-then about the rest of the day. So I kind of feel bad that like this chart is so busy. So if it is busy and it's hard to follow along, like I'm really, sorry about that. I don't know how better to share this and have it make sense. But these red bubbles were kind of signifying the morning profile and like the ranges that we were likely to trade in. And the most obvious range on the day was this middle one. This was your area of opportunity. The fact that we opened and came back a little bit and held where we did was great, right? And then we kind of rejected the first test higher and came back down. Why? You can make all sorts of opinions about why. But the most important thing was the setting up of like where things were happening and informed this kind of squeeze move to me. Catching that and calling that was about as easy as possible today. I know a lot of people struggled today with the idea of like what the fuck? See what I mean? There's just weird shit going on with my computer. Anyway, I'm gonna go to break even. I just don't love this trade, guys. I just can't shake the feeling that I got into something poor. And it's kind of coming true, right? Like if we rejected somewhere, the potential for a harsh rejection to come all the way back down is there. That's the risk on a trade like this and taking it late. But for a lot of people that struggled with today and being the back and forth and how were you supposed to know that was going to happen, the benefit of having this knowledge, right, is that you understand the relationship between volatility and these positions. What accelerates volatility bidirectionally? What is the best opportunity to ride that momentum or that volatility wave, right? And where can you deploy your risk to take advantage of it? So for me to be able to kind of say, I'm buying this dip at 60, 75.60 was my entry and I gave it 10 points. I was never in danger of getting stopped out, right? Because I saw the potential of if we can get up here and cover this 80-85 area, we should probably spike really dramatically up the ladder. And we did. I mean, that little pop from 80 to 76.03, whatever this is, that happened in the blink of an eye, really, right? So like understanding where the potential lies is the same reason I took this trade, but I wanted it down here. If I hadn't let my dog out and taken a piss before the stream started, I would have been in down here instead of, kind of the late breakout trade instead. And I'd be up a hell of a lot more. But the fact remains, when you use the profile and that knowledge, days like today where they're wiki in both directions are actually very easy to make some decisions on. you have to accept the risk a little bit. You know that things are going to maybe go for you or against you, and it might be very quickly. But if you're prepared and you're waiting for your spots, like down here today, it's really kind of just I'm pretty confident in this reaction, and if it cascades, it's going to take me to here, and so on. What do you think about taking partial? Do you mean like trimming profits? Is that what that means? If you're talking about trimming, like, yeah, I'll do it depending on like how much of the range I still have. But there are opportunities where it's like, okay, if we get and cover this, I'll probably like take a trim right under it and say like, I want at least 10 points out of this. And then I'm taking the other one for the rest of it. Like, I'm not dumb, you know, like I know the risk. I could come up here and say, oh, we're going to do that. It's possible. That would be a great trade to hold fully, but it's also full of risk because of this. The risk of this trade is any selling is going to increase volatility and potentially cascade through this whole range. Like if you look on Bookmap over here, there's all these orders. If those get sold through and that selling is strong, there's really nothing but air back down to where we know things should be buffered, right? Around 75, 65. That is the exact same thing as right here. So if that happens, that is the risk of this trade. So like the higher we go, yeah, the more profit I'm probably securing. So I will do that when the opportunity says to do it. Hopefully that makes sense. Do you trade only on ES? I'll trade NQ as well. Less so lately just because it's more volatile than ES. So I've just been trading more of this, but I've taken a few, like NQ scalps. I've been trying it with Bookmap just to see like, okay, where's like a really obvious spot for this to fall back to just quickly. So I'll go like really, you know, like 2 or 3 minis and just try to capture like 50 points real quick. Bookmap seems to be helpful for that in some ways. Do you trust that zone even if the volume node is lower than the one above it? Disco, can you clarify that for me? Do I trust the zone even if the node's lower than the one above it? Like, shout the number out to me so I know exactly what you're talking about. Are you talking about like the support area? Because that's where I'm not sure about trusting the zone. Speak now, Disco, so I know what the fuck to say. Come on, man. Otherwise I sound like a twat just kind of sitting here waiting for you. Or my chat just isn't updating on YouTube. This is not deep charts, Ashkar. Jesus. Ashkar. It is not deep charts. This is just trading view. Ashkar. Okay. I needed the phonetic help there. I was struggling to read the whole thing in one go. Nope, this is just trading view. It's not deep charts. I don't even know what deep charts is. I'm guessing that's a different charting software. 75.25 versus 35, those red bars. Yeah, so the whole thing about this and the risk of this trade, which is why I would have wanted to enter more like here, Disco, is for that reason. My risk to reward is better defined here because the support is actually better down here. The only thing that makes any of this supportive to me right now is the idea that we're over it, which means that passively it is supporting me. But all it takes is some momentum and selling pressure, and that goes away in a hurry. Compared to if it was selling into these strikes, it would be kind of slowed down and buffered a little bit. So that is the risk of the trade. That's why I've said since the stream started, I actually hate this trade. I got into this in a really shit spot, but I wanted to play. I wanted to hitch my wagon, to the horse that might carry me through this whole range. So yeah, not my best trade, but we're in it. So we'll see what we get out of it. But the potential is certainly there. And that's all I can do. And I would say there is something to this, right? Like as the day goes on, and if you guys are new here, I talk about this pretty much every day. And let's just get rid of all this shit on here. So the way that I trade, guys, is I basically am looking for the market open, pre-market to market open, into the London close period. Once the London close period happens, I kind of take stock of where we sit, right? So we'll draw that arrow here. So after the London close, what kind of changes do I see in the positioning, right? So after the London close, the reason why I pay attention to this blue line is like a before and after is the before this blue line, there was a structure coming in on the day. So let's look at that. This is kind of what frames the day for me. What are the behaviors I'm going to expect to see as kind of like the strongest bet coming into the market? Regardless of what happens during the day, this was kind of like what everybody who decided to play options was placing their bet on. So what about those bets and the behaviors associated to how those are held by market makers gives me an edge? So this morning it was pretty much key strike. If we're holding here and we're holding here before the door opens to this bottom range, right? I think we have a lot in our favor to go long. Okay. So yeah, dude, things are running so slow on this Mac. That's driving me crazy. So the odds of extending beyond here were low for two reasons to me. That's a huge resistance, right? That dealer long bar signifies kind of probably the most local positive gamma area, meaning it naturally slows down price. The same thing that makes a green bar support for me below is the same thing that makes it a resistance above. But the difference this morning was that this is a lot of tinder. This is a lot of momentum. And when I look at the shape of it, if we look kind of broaden that out, the same reason why I'm in the trade I'm in right now is the one from this morning. Why did I think we would pop on a squeeze up here today? The shape of that. So when we got this squeeze here, I can go to the Discord, I can show you guys exactly what I said and when I said it, and the fact that it happened like literally within 5 minutes. This pop, this squeeze through this whole range petered out where? Right where that range ended, and this became a buffering factor, right? So this was kind of the primary range on the day that if you're bullish at all, you wanted to participate in here. You could really define your risk. And the same reason why we're kind of holding here now is that once the London close happened and you take all those participants out, they secured profit on their calls or their puts, whatever they played, they're gone. Now it's just us for the rest of the day. What changed? Not a lot. But the difference is the floor is still pretty much in the same spot. All of this below you, if you are not down there in those areas, it is passively supporting you. There are futures orders being placed every few minutes as the day goes along until the clock runs out at 3 o'clock, right? Which is somewhere over here, let's say. So between this and this is our racetrack. This is the track, and we've only got so much time to get to the finish line. So between now and then, what do we know is working for us and against us? So if we are over this strike here, it's a lot easier to drift higher than it is to finish lower. With the same reason, it's a lot harder to go below this place because everything under it is supporting you on the way up. If you're not under something, you're over it. Where does it compel you to? Why are we kind of stalling out right here? Well, we're kind of stuck in this little valley. This is selling against us until we're through it. And once we are, then it compels us higher. And it would be a different story if every one of these red bars after it, right, were bigger. You're pushing this mountain, this ball up the mountain, right? Maybe that's a good time to see if we can show this thing. Here we go. See if this is familiar. So we're pushing up against a wall, right? We're cresting the mountain peak. Once we clear the mountain peak, we pick up some momentum, but then we get to a slightly bigger one and we pick up that momentum. We really accelerate, but ooh, if that next mountain is too hard to crest and we reject it, this is perfect for today's positioning. What happens? Picks up momentum, it goes all the way back down. Where does that correlate with today? This idea right here. If you're not over something and you lose that momentum and it starts going back the other direction, it's accelerating you down until you get to this kind of bigger support. So that is the risk of this trade. That is why I said at the start of this stream, I actually hate my entry because this was not the entry I wanted. Dad walked away for a potty break before the stream and missed his shot. But I wanted to have something on in case we got this second pop. Oops. See if I can get the arrow I need. This was the second pop I wanted to have something on for. But the best risk to reward for me was down in here to say, if I know that everything below me is super supportive, I have actual known buying beneath me. I know they have to buy if price goes down there. They mechanically must. So if that's the case, that was the best risk to reward. Me getting in up here changes that dynamic. I'm now at risk of this momentum carrying me all the way through down there. So that risk to reward is not as good. You know, I won't care if I get the full like 3R trade up here, but I think you guys understand, right? But that boulder, like pushing that mountain or that ball up the mountain and the momentum potential to go against you, you can see we're kind of in a valley right now. We're stuck. If we crest this next mountain peak, there's really no resistance in front of us. And then we also pair that with the knowledge of all these red bars are market makers short, which means they go with the momentum. So if that ball picks up some momentum and starts rolling down that mountain, it can get rolling really fast. And we don't have a known resistance until we get up here. So hopefully that analogy makes sense. But we're in a very precarious position where any selling pressure that picks up steam can also get going back the other direction until we find our support. So I see I talked so long, I missed a ton of messages. So let me catch up here a little bit. See where I left off. Ashkar, have I tried ATAS? Charles, I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you, so you'll have to fill me in. Oh, it's an Orderflow platform. Do I golf? I did golf, Matterman. I had a rotator cuff surgery right after I finished the mastermind, actually, which was a bummer. So I have not golfed this year. I had frozen shoulder during my therapy, so it made rehab last like 9 months instead of 3. So, but I was playing the best golf of my life. I was like a 4 handicap at that point. So, hey, I'm just seeing Alan. Hey, dude, thank you so much for being here, man. I know your schedule's crazy, so thank you so much for popping in. Some high quality review from the game ago. Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, I think today is a really great case study. I do want to say too, somebody in the chat in the Discord actually was asking the question about like positive versus negative gamma. So when you talk about gamma, the thing that you have to remember is today is just today. But there are options held all throughout the future. And how those positions are held influences the overall gamma backdrop, the regime, right? And it is overall positive. While there are these red positions within, overall, we are in a hugely positive gamma market, which means there is a reason why we don't tend to run over the riverbanks. We're not flooding and just like we just keep going with huge momentum and just keep going and going and going. We are stuck in these ranges. We are confined. We do a lot of chop. We do a lot of mean reversion. So no one's hornier for positive gamma regimes, I can guarantee you, than people who trade like VWAP strategies. Because the whole thing about mean reversion is you are coming back to something. You are coming back to an area, right? You extend, you retrace. You extend, you retrace. And it's reliable. It's consistent. And the difference between a VWAP trader versus having the positions is you know the actual mechanical spot where a reaction is going to be. Just because price comes back to VWAP doesn't mean that it respects VWAP. It might sell right through it and then come back up to it. The benefit of having this in your favor is you know the regime, so you know to expect that going in. We're going to go somewhere and we're probably going to stop. And if we stop and we fade a little bit, where are you most likely to fade back to, right? Where in a negative gamma regime, volatility is typically higher, which means there is less liquidity in the sense of agreement on price, which is why you have bigger straddles, right? The straddle coming in on the day was a little bit higher because there was the event volatility of a CPI print. Once the print happened in the pre-market, we got a big move where there was really not a lot of agreement on price, right? We made that move and we came all the way right back down, okay? But what happens is as that straddle now comes down to say, all right, the event's gone, we don't have much to worry about, it takes another catalyst to extend that straddle. Otherwise, it just starts decaying as time goes on, which is why right now, we got that race to the finish line. How much room do we have left to go? So like right now, the current straddle price is 15 points. So I'll update that for the indicator so you guys can actually see that. So these light blue bars are telling you what's being priced in as the current range, right? Which means that the probability of getting way up here is less likely unless we cover this strike, right? So failures to come back to the balance that are below us that we can rely on is probably the highest probability trade. So even right now, if I wasn't in this trade, I'd be going, prove to me that you can squeeze. I'll take a short and I'll give it 10 points and I think I'm going to come down here. But I'm already in this trade, so I'm not going to do that. But hopefully you guys get the idea. But that is something about the gamma regime that we're in, is like knowing that we are less likely to move beyond the high of the day. There's just too much up here that says we are selling you down, right? Like there's so much up here that is not in the money. So the highest you can go is probably right here. And if you fail to hold up here, you are likely to find a local balance. So the tighter the straddle gets, the less big the range is, the more you have to look at what are the things you do know to maybe settle up against. So again, we've been in a positive gamma regime. How many days, if we look left, have we made a move and then we've just chopped to death for the whole afternoon, right? Look at all these days. We got up and then we got stuck. We effectively went nowhere, right? We ranged and then we just drifted. So that is what is normal in what you would call a positive gamma regime. But there are pockets of opportunity given the positions within those positive gamma territories where it is attractive to short on occasion. So, yeah. Anyway, I have been talking for 40 minutes straight, it feels like. I need to remember to take a break. So hopefully I'm answering some of your questions. But again, this is the risk, guys. We are seeing the potential. Like I said, somebody else, if I wasn't already long playing for a potential squeeze, shorting this by 10 points and saying, prove it to me to go capture like 20, totally fine. I'm just seeing the explosive potential the other direction. What's up, Miggy? What's up, Dougie? Yeah, frozen shoulder sucks, dude. Literally the worst. It took forever. My rehab, I couldn't even lift my arm. I still can't do it very well because my surgery limited my rotation, but like me throwing a ball is comical. Like when I play with my kid and I have to like play catch, I'm so embarrassed. I feel like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. I'm like, it's really pathetic. But yeah. Do I trade at the open? Sure do. Yep. Trade every day. I am mostly done by the time the stream starts. Like today is a rare occasion. I would normally be done. That's why like you guys don't see me take too many trades on stream live, because like most of the best opportunities I am very patient for given the profile. I don't just like jump into stuff. Yeah, Bortusk, quarter mile, easily. I actually had a bunch of shoulder surgeries. I had one when I was in like 8th grade from football. So I was just really surprised. I didn't do anything. I just like all of a sudden one day felt my shoulder a little weird and I couldn't put something up in the cabinet. Like I was trying to put a glass away. I was like, oh, that's weird. Can't go. I can't get it up there. What's happening? And then all of a sudden 3 months of rehab and physical therapy. And then it was like, oh, nope, still not working very well. Let's go look. And sure enough, I had a big old rotator cuff tear. So that's how it goes. BL trades, I'm a 4. For what? Oh, handicap. Yeah, I forgot we were talking about golf. Yeah, I don't even want to think about what I would do on a golf course today. I'm not even sure I could hit a wedge at this point. Yeah. The most disappointing thing, best scores of my life, and then I had to freaking have surgery. Just ruined it. What can you do? All right, so here's what I'd be looking for from this point, guys, is this breakout. This is what I want to see. I want to see this move, and I want to see it, and I want to see it happen quickly. The problem with expecting a move like this as well is that we are in what is typically like a low momentum, low volume, if you will, time of the day. So to get that kind of a move, it has to come from somewhere, right? You have to get a strong enough bid to kind of force the market maker reaction and get that kind of squeezy chain reaction type move. But the risk of this, again, not to hammer and belabor the point, is when you move through ranges like this, you move through them just as quickly the other direction, right? They're only supportive to you, passively speaking, if you're holding over them. But if we clear this strike here, this kind of 75-45 on SPX with some gusto, you should expect it to be a pretty rapid move for like, 5 to 10 points at least as we move through this range. So the straddle, and what makes these moves even more explosive at times, is if the straddle is like an approximation of like what's being priced in, if suddenly these options that were really cheap, right, their delta was only something, change because of us moving through this negative gamma, they're basically getting repriced, which makes the market makers have to chase that move, right, with how many futures they're buying or selling. Excuse me. And that's why you get that kind of squeezy behavior, because as fast as we're moving through those strikes, those options they're holding and trading against are getting repriced as well. So if the straddle right now is only 15 points, but we just moved 10 points in 2 minutes, now the straddle is like, oh shit, I've got to price these options too. And those options just went from this number to this one, which means market makers have to buy, right? And that's also what happens on a rejection. They have to sell. So something that I would 100% be aware of. Sorry, I just got a message from somebody. We might run a few minutes long. I think Christian is dealing with something since he is traveling, so I might need to give him a few extra minutes. So for all of you ICT guys that tuned in early, I am very sorry that you have to listen to me go any longer, but for the rest of you, bonus time. Yeah. Thoughts on trading relative strength individual names when overall markets are sideways to down. I traded crowd today and fumbled it, scared I would fail and fumbled it. I don't really have an opinion on that, Boar. I would tell you that the reason why I have so much confidence in this as my primary system is because I don't need to go anywhere else. If the index is ranging, I have trades that are able to catch those ranges within the day. I know generally where the edges of that range are likely to be or less likely to be. And I am trading within that. I don't have to look anywhere else. And I don't care if it's ranging or trending. I am trading this instrument and I have data to back it up and tell me what is more probable versus less and where. it means that I don't need to go anywhere else. Some people are more comfortable doing that. They don't necessarily have this and they don't trade this way. Then they're subject to the whims of the market and, you know, price action based strategies and not having an explainer for why something happens. Then yeah, I can see the frustration and feeling like you have to go to another vehicle or a different instrument. That is totally fine. I'm not going to begrudge anybody who does that, but that's just not me. That's why I love this system. I don't have a watch list anymore. Like, I don't actively have to scan and be like, ooh, this looks better than this today. I could give two shits. So that's probably not the answer you're looking for, but that's my answer. So, but I get it. Like, I get the struggle. That's probably why I identified with this so much, is I didn't want to have to figure out like what was the best name on the day. I just learned the instrument and said like, oh, okay, well, I know that if this happens, then this happens, and then blah, blah, blah. But we are at the kind of do or die spot here, guys. If we lose momentum to the upside and we get rejected, we keep talking about this. I don't have a lot of faith in this as a balance. So this is kind of the risk of this position in my entry in particular, is I kind of have a tighter leash on it. If we don't get this, we get the opposite. So the worst thing to see would be to see a sell back through this kind of strike with some big Momo. So that's why I'm pretty much break even on this one. Do you have recommendations for learning the platform besides their pro subscription for VS3D? Okay, so VS3D is the platform that I use, guys, to get the data that shows up on this TradingView indicator. What you see on my screen and the bars and the green and the red and all that is basically what's on their platform. Then they also have the gradient graphs that tell you where is the heaviest concentration of positive gamma and how much is there to trade, how many minis would have to be bought or sold at this place, and blah, blah, blah. They have a charm graph, they have a Vanna graph, they have a delta graph. All of those things are built into that tool. They have it for VIX as well, which is helpful because of the volatility dynamics in the Greeks and how these things are all related. If this gives the whole thing back, it'll be kind of funny in one way, but also helpful in the other, to show you guys like the if-then scenarios that we trade with on this. But I'm not going to move my stop or anything. We'll just let it play out. I'm not really too fussed either way. But for me, I don't know why you wouldn't want to learn the platform from the people who built the platform. I mean, you guys, the platform itself is not the hard thing. It's using the data that it provides you. That's the hard thing. The platform is the platform. If you don't know how to interpret what it's showing you, that's the hard part, is getting your head around it. And that's why, like, I'm doing this on my stream. Dan at VS3D does not, I don't have an affiliate link. I don't have anything. I just use his platform. There are other competitors out there. I would tell you that I find his to be extremely reliable. I trust a former market maker's platform to work and work the way that it's designed. Man, shit. Oh. Let's see. If this fails, it's probably going to fail kind of spectacularly. So we either get the squeeze or we get the failure. Bummer. I hope it works. But yeah, that is what I would say to that question, Crash, is like, if you want my help and you want to learn how I trade with that platform, then you can hit me up and we can do a mentorship session. But I would go VS Pro, I believe, is less about the platform and just more about like understanding market dynamics from their perspective. So yeah. Sorry, what was the news drop, Disco? It doesn't look like it had as much impact as I was thinking, but it might just take a minute. Did a headline come out that I missed? Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too, guys, is like, if you're going to use this platform, it costs money. I mean, that's reality. Okay. Like, if you want access to this, it's just like if you want Bookmap, you got to pay for it. If you want access to Jake's mastermind system, you got to pay to learn it. If you want his levels indicator, you got to pay to get it. If you want access to the DOM and level 2, trading data, you have to pay for it through your broker. Like, some of these additional things are not free, and I get that that's a restricting factor for a lot of you, and I sympathize with that. But if using that data, and I pay $300 a month for that platform, nets me how many winning trades over the course of a week that I otherwise wouldn't have as much confidence in trading, it's a pretty good trade-off or payoff for me. The ROI is quite clear. So if you are less confident in that outcome for yourself, I totally understand. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about it. But if you want to understand it and you want to leverage it, you know, you have to pay for the platform and the data. But then there's always someone like me who can show you how they use it. And that's what we're doing here for free every day on stream. Yeah, Crash. That's the other thing too, guys. And that's why I tried to show you that little graphic, right? Like, what is happening right now? Why is the kind of make or break point this strike? Because the odds of this happening are actually probably heavier on a weighted coin. Like if I was flipping a coin, it's probably technically weighted more this direction than it is in my favor, right? But if I cover this one, then I'm kind of excited about the prospect. So if I got in at the right spot, holding for this potential outcome is a great idea. Again, if you're late to the stream, best entry for this trade was while I was taking a leak before the stream started. So I'm very disappointed I did not get my preferred entry, which would have been this. Instead, I got it a little bit higher. And the difference between a little bit and mine is that the thesis for the trade of like having this big supportive strike below me and range of support is not there unless it's, 15 points away. And I don't like to have 15-point stops very often. But it's working out currently, and it will prove itself to work out on the basis of kind of a squeeze type move if we cover this area. If we can kind of pop and hold the 75, 95-ish, then I am more confident in getting the squeeze type move. But the risk is obviously what we just discussed, a failure back down to where I know buying must occur. So anyway, yeah, my trade less attractive on a risk to reward basis. Even to hear like the top of the straddle is only like a 2R trade at this point. I didn't take it with this kind of a stop loss. Like I said, I gave it more like this, but had I entered where I wanted, instead of taking a bathroom break, this was a far more attractive trade, even from like a risk to reward basis if we get the full range move. Right. First full day paying for the platform data, and it was well worth the money spent, says Miggy. That's great. And again, guys, there are other platforms, but I think when you start looking at the money, like if you're going to pay $250 to $300 a month, like it's really hard to argue with VS3D just from a reliability standpoint. And on days like today, where coming in, there's a lot of like data and volatility. It allows you to be, I'm speaking just for myself, Miggy, you might feel differently. If you are able to be patient, you can trade both directions on a day like today with relative ease once you get this stuff down. If you understand the dynamics and where something is more likely to occur than not, you keep yourself out of chase trades, out of bad trades. You know that there's a possibility of price coming back to an area. You can pivot from there, so you can play it both directions. You can go long and then short and then long again, within reason. And I think that is the benefit of this data and this platform, or platforms like it. So I am just going to let this run. Looks like we are somewhat on the way to the potential run higher. Now it's just a case of, do we get the continued bidding through this resistance? Do we get enough momentum to force these market makers to keep moving with us? When did I go bald? Probably started like 4 years ago, to be honest, Gmald. It's unfortunate, but that whole thing about like you get your mom's, dad's, like whatever. Unfortunately, that hit me a little harder than I would have preferred. My daughter will tell anybody that her dad doesn't have as much hair as he used to. It's really sad. I used to have luscious locks, big curly fro back in high school, but nobody wants to see that. Maybe someday I'll show you guys a picture, but it's truly appalling and embarrassing. Back on track. Thanks, Gmald, for that. Detour. Oh, fuck. Devin Goodell. So once you get through one of the green bars, how does it still act as support if the contract's bought once it gets to that level? How does it still act as support if the contracts are bought once it gets to that level? So the way you need to look at this, guys, is, and this is something I probably haven't touched on too much because I try not to confuse you guys too much. But when we talk about hedging dynamics, what we're really talking about is that, like, when someone first takes that trade. So when somebody on the customer side buys a bunch of calls, so let's say these are a bunch of calls at this strike, this big red bar. If market makers are short, it means the customer is long that position. The initial hedge of that is one thing. If a market maker is short that position, right, they are hedging it how? What are they doing with futures when they first take that trade on, right? That initial hedge is one part of the equation. What they do as price moves against that, right, is where the change is. So if a market maker is long a position, their initial thing, their initial hedge, right, is one thing. Whether it's above spot or below it is where the hedging dynamic changes, right? When price comes back to those longs, the customer who took the other side of it, their delta is changing, which means the market maker's delta is changing, which means they're buying futures as price comes down to that. As price rises to a dealer long, they are selling futures against that position because it's actually against the initial hedge and how that hedge changes over time and with volatility. So same thing today. If we go back and we look at this big wick, this big spike up that we got on kind of this little short squeeze, right? Why do you think that wick got set? Because you had a huge change in volatility. IV expanded, right? Popped. That means the delta on all those options changed as well. And when we got to this area, obviously this is the intraday positioning, but the pre-market positioning, you could tell it was like one tiny dealer short and then some bigger dealer longs. Their hedging response is why you get those wicks like that, right? So it's like that idea of the other thing we talked about the other day, like a trampoline. If you get a lot of momentum, like if I jumped off my roof right now and I jumped onto a trampoline, the first bounce of me off that trampoline is going to be pretty high, right? Because of the initial momentum. So the trampoline is absorbing that and responding. That's essentially what you see when you get big wicks like this on a huge kind of a squeeze-like move, right? It happens so fast that the reaction from the other side is kind of equal to that. But what happens when you get the next bounce? It's a little bit less, if it even comes back down at all. So when we talk about like V-shaped rallies, right? You get a huge big dip, and then you get a rally that is like immediate the other way. It never comes back for a bounce until way higher, and it never comes back down as far. It's that same idea. The initial hedge response can be outsized. And if that momentum catches in the right spot, in the right environment, like today, you get a bounce and then you get through an area like this and it starts cascading up because the momentum was so strong to just keep going the other direction. That's why like short cover rallies can be the thing that starts a V-shaped recovery. You sell, you sell, you sell, you sell. All these people are covering their shorts, which leads to some natural buying. If that's enough momentum in a range of these dealer short positions, the momentum just keeps going. And people are sitting there going, how the fuck did that just happen? We sold off 150 points and we just recovered 250 in less time than it took to sell off. More often than not, that is happening where dealers are short these positions or it's very thin, right? Because the momentum is what carries things. So that's why having this data and knowing where are you less likely to keep selling through, or at the least slow down. Maybe you want to catch a counter trend scalp. Maybe that 10 points turns into 30, right? That is the benefit of this information and knowing how to read it. You keep yourself out of bad trades, shorting the whole, shorting a top that isn't really the top, right? And getting yourself into good trades. So, for somebody else, this might be like a huge trade. But for me, this is kind of a poor trade, honestly, just on timing. But the thesis was intact. It just hasn't fully worked out. I just don't think we have enough actual momentum to keep this kind of squeeze run covering the entirety of this range. Now I'm relying on this being passive support. Just being over it and holding over it briefly in the passage of time makes it support by default because they're buying futures the longer I stay over it. But the second I fall through it with some momentum, they start selling as well. So then it's up to the broader market to kind of keep us up here. So that's why I'm saying probabilities. The failure to hold over this strike is going to point us back down. Holding over it and getting some momentum, we're going to drift up. So constant push-pull with the goal of balancing and allowing market orders to be the influence to breaking balances. And yeah, Jordan, that's the best way to think about it, is market maker positions are reactive. If they're bigger positions, the reaction from them can dictate price action, right? And influence the market. But if the market flow, if the active buying or selling is strong enough, it can force a reaction through them and force them to change, right? That's why the whole thing around how I trade is if, then, unless, right? If we cover this strike, it should propel us to here. If we hold and cover that, it should provide momentum to go to here. Unless we fail to hold here, then we are likely to pick momentum up and come back here. If, then, unless. If, then, else. There is a higher probability we go higher from here because it takes more to go substantially lower. This is all supportive under here. Passively, this is very strong support. If you're over this, it's weaker support because it's susceptible to a change in volatility or flow. This, less so. Combination of time and what we know about those positions, mechanically they have to buy if price gets close to it. This is wishy-washy. This is all momentum based. It's only supportive with the passage of time and us staying over it. If we fail here and this sells through, once again, we are likely to come all the way back down towards 75, 65. AXP, there's a name I've seen on other streams. What's up, man? Sure you're having a good day. A. Miller said, with the indicator with the bars, your personal indicator you made based on the data. Yes. VS3D does not offer an indicator. They just have the platform. You don't technically need this indicator on TradingView. I just do it because it's helpful for me to talk to on these streams and show you guys my trade rationale and kind of forecast the afternoon for you based on this. It's like me teaching you how to use a platform like VS3D. If you would trade gold, would you use gold options or options on GC futures? Do these products have market maker positioning? No, Randy. And I can't speak to that, to be honest with you. Yeah, Lomeli is going to be back, COD. He is just having a little issue because he is traveling. So let me just see how much longer he'll be. Yeah, he was going to be just a little late today, I believe, because he is traveling and dealing with a little something. So he'll let me know when he is ready to go. Yeah. But there's something else too, guys. Like when you have this data and you have a mastery of it, like I have been working on something. We'll just kind of switch over here as opposed to that one. Let's look at this. So I'm not going to be able to see the chat for a second. Holy shit, that is bright. So I'm not going to be able to. Can you guys see that okay? Holy shit. This is essentially like a platform that I built that takes my brain and how I read all of this and puts it into what I am going to start sharing in the Discord, which is effectively kind of a percentage-based criteria for what the behavior should be for ES versus SPX, kind of the three different courses, bullish, neutral, bearish, kind of this scenario situation. What happens if I'm looking for something to break and continue versus break and snap back versus get stuck in a range versus a fail versus a tail event. The spot volatility dynamics, like having this knowledge of this system and this data allows me to build this out. Like I can literally capture all of my trades, every day's behavior, I can rationalize it and come up with something that I can share with people. So this is pretty much how the day started versus how it's going through the post-London close. What kind of weighting does it give? It actually looks like this is weighing more of a breakout to the top at the time, or a stretch and snapback, less to the downside path. Like these are all things that I'm able to do, with knowledge of this system. So to me, it's hugely beneficial to be able to transplant my brain and just use all of that journaling to effectively forecast each day and share it with people in the Discord. That's my plan moving forward. Less videos of me rambling about it and just using that to share. So it's fun. Fix the echo? I'm really sorry. I guess I didn't hear one. Yeah, it was just a web browser, but I wonder if because I'm streaming from YouTube in the browser and I shared the browser, if it was like sharing the browser volume. That's actually probably what that was. So that's my bad. How did I learn all of this? Is this all from when you learned options trading? No, this is just getting into this, just understanding the relationship between volatility in these positions specific to SPX, right? And ES, the correlation of those two things. Oh, let's see here. Do they kick save it, or does this come crashing all the way back down and stop me out break even? Let's find out. How long have I been using VS3D? I am officially, randomly, this is not like some special thing, but I am officially their first ever platform user. So I don't remember when that is, but before that I was using options depth, and before that I used quant data, which is more of a naive GEX service. So if you are someone who trades other names and other options, like an unusual whales type person, quant data is similar to that, I would say. They just present it a little bit differently. I think there's technically an unusual whales add-on called Periscope, which shows an approximation of dealer positioning. I just don't know how reliable that is. So I would say this is the danger spot here, guys. This is what we talked about with that flip where the arrow says, not so fast, my friend, and you come all the way back down. So not to be a total twat, but I will move my stop now. We'll at least give ourselves a little something here. But this looks like it's gonna come tumbling all the way back down. We'll get at least 500 bucks out of this trade. But yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I was really hoping we get the breakout, but again, late afternoon, not as much activity. Any selling made that really susceptible to coming all the way back down. Maybe it holds here. Maybe we do get someone to step in and take it higher, but I do think this is more likely to fail and come back, which is what I said at the start about why I hated my particular entry. So there you go. If it's now rejecting, would I close out for profit or just break even? I mean, I'm going to get some profit out of it. I held this for so fucking long with a really poor entry. I'm leaving here with something. Let's put it that way. Yeah, do I have special learning materials in Rake's Discord? No, Randy, I don't know who should compensate me. I don't know what that means. Oh shit, did Christian respond? Hopefully I'm not stepping on his toes. I don't know what time he sent that. A couple minutes. Oh, it's been a few minutes. I think he might be good now. So, yeah, okay, he still needs one more minute. So, Randy, no, the Discord is basically like me sharing those screenshots moving forward about like my plan for the day. I'm not posting my pre-market plan to Discord or YouTube streams anymore because it's just like there's only so much time, and I don't know that it actually benefits anybody. People pay to be in the Discord for that information. They should be the first to it and to get it. And I don't honestly have enough views on my Instagram, so I don't know that it's worth it to put it there. If anything, I'll do like a trade review or an end of day recap there consistently, but the pre-market stuff, I'll just keep in the Discord. And then as far as like learning materials, that is where if you want to learn this the way that I trade it in particular, you want help with the platform you're already using, how to use it, then that's where I offer the mentoring to go one-on-one to say, like, if you already have a successful system and you want more confluence, you want more confidence, maybe you struggle with like just pulling the trigger because you're not sure if it's going to work or not. If you can leverage this to make your trades more probable, or to have that framework of I am more confident about this because of what I do know, the data that exists, then I work with people to help them find a way to layer that into what's already working for them or to make it their primary system. Because I do think a lot of people are struggling for simplicity. And that's why they chase so many trades, because they feel like they're constantly missing out in the market. So they want to trade as much as possible, where if this allows you to be a little more patient and just wait for your spot, it either comes or it doesn't. And if it does, here's how to execute and know like what's possible instead of just on an R basis, you know, what is the most likely resistance going to be? You know, that can be really helpful for people. Because for somebody else, if you took this original trade of mine and you're like, I don't care if we get to this, past this resistance, but I want to trade for this, that's still like an almost 3-hour trade. And depending on your size, right? Like it could have been even less. You could have just waited for it to get into this, right? And risked even less because, you know, I don't know what that stop is technically. Like that's not even a full 10-point stop, but you let it get to the middle of this area and you were only targeting this range. If it kept going, then you have a runner. That's a 3-hour trade with the potential to turn it into, you know, if you went to the very top of the range, a 6-hour trade. But if you went just to the top of the straddle, it was more like a 5-hour trade and so on. If that gives you more confidence than what you would have otherwise known, or you said, I don't know where to place my take profit, that's kind of why I do that mentoring based stuff, as opposed to just like flooding the Discord with a bunch of stuff that most people don't pay attention to. But if you're here and you're paying attention to it, great. You know, and if you want to learn more, then you can contact me through any of those methods. But I think I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If Christian is ready, I'll give this last shout. If you do want to follow along in the Discord, you can find me there. Otherwise, you can follow me on Instagram if you want to DM me. If you want to learn more, obviously there's the QR codes you can scan if you want direct access, but there are links in the chat here for you. But if I had a forecast for the rest of the day before I hop off here, I would just tell you, I think that from a passive standpoint, we are kind of being supported. I think the current straddle is about 14 points. So could we kind of test up here? You know, yeah. I think that would be probably the most I'd be looking for. I don't think you really get an extension beyond that. Just because, again, that is kind of like the full straddle move. So if it happens, it would have to happen sooner than later. But if we did get up there, then I think you have more of that kind of up and stuck tendency. But I do think the risk on the day is losing this 75.90 with any momentum at any point likely takes you back down into this area. So whatever you guys do, trade safe. I'm sure Christian will take you to the promised land, who is trading while traveling. So it looks like he is ready to go. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and duck out. So thank you guys for joining so much. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I think any giveaways, Christoph, are going to have to come from Christian. I ran this way too long into his time. So yeah, stay tuned. And if you guys need anything, you know where to find me. Thanks.
Yeah. Right here. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, should be all good now. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Should be all good. Perfect. What's up, chat? Man, I didn't really like streaming yesterday in public. It made me very ASMR-ish. But I'm happy to be back in a room where I can be loud and clear. What's up? Nicole, Jay. What's up, Vish? My traveling trader, my guy. How's it going, Noise Visions? What's up, Dougie? A Miller, loud and clear. Fuck yeah. Greetings. Hey, yo, Melly, my guy. Lujic, my guy. What's up, brother? RJV. How's New York? New York's been amazing. I haven't really done much, honestly. Yeah, long story short, I got, let me see, put this light. No, it's too bright. I got here at 3, essentially to the hotel yesterday at 3 a.m. I slept in. I woke up. I want to go get some breakfast, and came back, and my AC wasn't working in my room, so I got moved over to this one, which is why I texted Mitch. I was like, "Can you hold me off for a couple minutes as I set up?" And again, like always, I opened up my laptop, and my OBS was giving me issues. So fortunately, I got it set up, but unfortunately, I was a little late. But thank you. Shout out Mitch for that. Randy, my guy. What's up, Praga? Kevin, what's up? Noise Visions, thank you. We're heading, and what's going on? Where are you heading, and what you going to do there? Just chilling, honestly. Really not doing anything special or anything in particular. Yeah, honestly, no real plans. Grab the pastrami sandwiches. Oh, you know what's crazy? Fuck, what's it called? It's called fuck, I forgot what it was called, but I know what you're talking about. It was it starts with a K. Fucking fire. I had it basically had it every single time I come. We doing New York meetup? No, yeah, Jake's in London. I think he is running a London meetup, right, chat? He's running a London meetup. What's up, Luca and Q Girly? Buenos dias. Cats, there you go, Cats. Fucking fire. Who's tried Cats from New York? Fucking amazing. You know what's funny? Last time I was in New York, it was in what was it? When did we come to New York last time? Yeah, oh fuck, she left. I'm tripping. Talking to myself. I forgot. A couple months ago. I think December, November, or it might have been this year. I forgot. But yeah, in the last like 18 months, I've been here 4 times, maybe 5-ish, maybe. But I took my we came with my girlfriend's siblings, right? We brought them over, and they hated it. But I guess it's I loved it. Get a bacon, egg, and cheese on everything bagel for me. I got you, brother. Good morning. Lomeli, hope your trip is going well. Yeah, it's going amazing. Thank you. Going amazing. Okay, let's hop straight into the charts, as I have not looked at shit. I have yet to do any analysis here, so I guess we'll do it together. Again, I didn't trade this morning. More than likely, probably not going to trade all AM session this week. Gonna kind of take a little bit more of a relaxing kind of trip, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of the game plan for now. We'll see if I wake up early tomorrow and I feel like it, I'll open up charts. But yeah, today I didn't, just because I went to sleep super late, and tomorrow we'll see what the game plan is. Your charts are frozen. They're not frozen. No, they shouldn't be, at least anymore. It's whenever I flip back and forth through different windows, they for some reason just freeze, right? So I must do my best to stay on charts, which is why I have the chat here to my right. But letting people trickle in here as I yap, and we'll get straight into it. We do have an account giveaway that we'll run today, so that should be fun. And yeah, excited to be back. Technically, I never missed, but yesterday I was at the they fucking denied me early entrance at the lounge, so I was stuck in public talking about fair value gaps. Oh man. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, I got you. So yeah, let's hop into it. I have yet to do any analysis, so this should be interesting. Okay, so let's look at the weekly. Let's go to Lomeli. Blambo, my guy. Yeah, just literally getting started here on price. Literally getting started. So, trading masterclass from the airport. Nah, I don't know. I hate being in public and talking about trading. I just don't. Yeah, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. But yeah, we're back. Like I said, the monthly. How's the monthly looking on NQ? The NQ on the monthly here is again bearish on NQ, bullish on ES. Right. Again, we have that relative strength that we've been having throughout the last, what is it now, 2 weeks between assets. NQ has been the lagging assets here, as we can see clearly on the monthly. The weekly, we delivered away from a bullish gap 1, 2, 3 times already, right? Last week we broke prior bars low, and which was also an inside bar, we traded back higher, right? We got divergence here with ES on last week's not last week, but the week before that, that's bar. And we are essentially in a range, right? There's really not much to take in from the weekly. As I'm looking at it, there's really not much we're taking from the weekly. Like I said, we're in a range. And all I can really see is that we are continuously holding the bullish gap here, which doesn't give me much data other than we are in a range. Respecting the bottom of the range would be the fair value gap, right? That's about it. Yeah, that's about it from the weekly. Let's go on the daily. The daily chat here is, so we inverted the bearish gap here yesterday after we took out sell side. Let's see. Again, the daily's just been very rangy, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The last like 14. Essentially the last 2 to 3 weeks, the daily hasn't really been directional, right? As I'm seeing here on the daily, right? Hasn't really been directional. We keep taking out these lows to trade back higher. We take out these highs, come back lower. So we're stuck in a range on the daily on NQ. Let's see. Daily. Yeah, all I'm looking at here on the daily is that we are essentially in a range on the weekly. We inverted this bearish gap. But again, it doesn't really mean anything because we are in a range. In the meantime, ES has inverted this bearish gap. We are respecting this bullish gap that we respected last week. And we're trading higher. We traded past the swing high, and we're essentially kind of creating this potential higher low here on the daily, and potential higher low here on the daily, which is kind of what I'm seeing here. Okay, so the 4 hour is should be interesting here. This is where I'm getting most of my data here. New day, new week, opening gap is up above us, of course. Wait, where's the new day opening gap here, chat? Right below us. New week opening gap. Let's see. Let's focus on NQ from now on. So one thing I'm noticing here is we do have relative equal highs up above us, right? So let's go ahead and title that. So again, chat, I'm building essentially a game plan here, as how I typically would. So I think this is very helpful if you're just listening. Relative equal highs. We came back down, traded into OTE of the range, took out prior day lows, and essentially are trading higher now, right? We're trading higher into this bearish gap. Let's see. Yeah, we didn't really respect this bearish order block here, which is one thing I'm noticing at here. This is the daily invert that the daily that went invert yesterday. Today we opened at 7 a.m., came back, tested it, and displaced out of it again, right? It's something I'm paying attention to here. Again, the 4 hour is very rangy, very sloppy, but let's see what we can get here today. On the hourly, we respected a okay, this is good. We respected a hourly fair value gap here in discount, right? fair value gap here in discount in the, was it in the morning? No, it was overnight. Overnight through Asia session, we displaced higher, respected bullish gaps, traded higher, respected essentially bullish gaps, bullish order block. After trading away from discount of the range. So let's see. So we are in premium, I believe, right? Premium. Yeah, so we traded up to premium this morning at around 5 a.m. And then we retraced back into discount at around 7 a.m. So at market open, we came back to the discount. Did we get divergence there at London lows or no? Let's see. London lows did not give us divergence. All right, go back to, let's see, the new day opening gap chat. New day opening gap is right below us, so it's too low. New week opening gap is above us, so let's see. So again, yeah, essentially bullish into the session. The way if we were truly bearish, I do believe we would have respected this bearish fair value gap. Daily, we essentially got a change in state here on the 4 hour. We are trading in premium of the range, which is something I'm paying attention to. We do have relative equal highs that for me would be the draw. Let's see, do we have relative equal highs on ES as well? Let's see, new day opening gap, new week opening gap. We already tested the new week opening gap today on ES, which is interesting. The daily here. So let's put a swing high or level here on ES. 4 hour, the 4 hour. We'll see if the 4 hour gets to invert here, which is what I'd be looking for, an invert. We are respecting, is if we pay attention to how the 4 hour has been delivering, every down candle has been getting respected, right? Order block here, order block here from the 7 a.m. candle has respected that one. So we are delivering essentially bullish. Did we get divergence down at the lows? How's the hourly looking here on? Yeah, it hasn't been the cleanest morning session from what I can see. 4 hour, let's remove this. What I am seeing is we have a lot of stacked lows here below us that we can go down to target later on. Yeah, this is looking like price would more than likely come back to take them out later, right? 4 hour, 1 hour, daily. Okay, so from what I'm seeing here is not much on the weekly, like I said. The daily, we did invert this bearish gap. We're trading back over it. Meanwhile, ES is essentially creating higher highs and higher lows, respecting that last down candle before the up move here on the daily. 4 hour, 4 hours getting this change in state here on the NQ. Meanwhile, ES, we'll see if we invert this bearish gap on the 4 hour. If we do so, I do think the 769 or 7629 level would be tested. I don't know about today, maybe overnight, maybe through London, but we'll see how this holds here. Let's see. 4 hour. And again, the hourly came back, tested discount of this range, right? Discount of this range, which is also an hourly fair value gap that we came back to test. And we have been delivering bullish since, right? Bullish since, but if we look at the last couple of hours, right? Basically since market open, we really haven't been going anywhere. We've been kind of closing in the same range, which is a little, it's not what you want to see when you're trading, anything, in my opinion. I think that this isn't really probable conditions, again, given how the hourlies have been closing, but we do have a read for me, which is higher. Daily. Man. Yeah, there's not much you can really do. I think this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that once the day, if and when we get a delivery out of the monthly fair value gap, it's when we get displacement moves, right? If we go back in history, right, we don't have any fair value gaps here until this one, right? We have that one, and that's where we kind of displace out of, right? This is where we get a string of two almost 3 months of displacive action, right? And same thing here, right? Once we take out swing lows and discount of the range, we trade into a bullish fair value gap. That's where we get the displacive move out of price, right? Same thing. Every single monthly fair value gaps gets us the move, gives us a move to a potential string of consistent trending weeks and months, right? So far, currently, how the monthly is after a big move to the upside, right? Doesn't matter what you trade, ICT, order flow, whatever you trade, right? Bar by bar. I think that understanding the premise of when to put on risk and when not to is important, right? The monthly is essentially last bars for the month of June. We essentially had kind of this pause bar, right? And this is kind of similar to what we're getting now on the monthly. And we are currently, so midway through the month of July, right? So if we close similar to that, I wouldn't be surprised if we continue ranging on the lower time frames, right? Again, it's a lot more clear on the weekly. We're still essentially bullish, but for price to continue, it has to range, right? And it's currently what we're getting on the weekly. On the daily, again, it's it's ugly. I genuinely don't like when we're essentially in a range, right? Where we're in a range, what I like to do or wait for is so currently this is how the daily's looking, right? This is how the daily's looking, and we're currently literally in the middle of a range. We're literally in the middle of a range here. What I would much rather wait and look to trade is the extremes, the range extremes to either the upside, preferably the upside given where we are. So lower end of the range, right? And the upper end of the range is if I was to be bearish, right? Given where we are, but we're currently in this tricky spot, which is why I believe we're getting the range action that we're getting here on the hourly, right? Oh, thank you. So let's see. Do we have a fair value up here on the 4 hour? We do have a teeny tiny little fair value up here on the 4 hour. Down here, right below those stacked lows. So 4 hour gap entry. So the new 4 hour candle just opened. Let's see. 4 hour, 1 hour. Yeah, the thing, chat, is I'm trying to look for an area of interest as I kind of get my bias, and I don't really like anything, right? I don't really like. The only thing I'd be interested in is if I'd love to see these lows get taken before playing upside. These lows get taken. It's not only London lows, but it's also a 4 hour small little fair value gap that we have below us. 15-minute. Asia, New York. Where's New York open at? 6:30. Traded lower. Let's see. Regular trading hours. Let's look at regular trading hours. Four hour. Let's see. So we are in premium of the range. That's one thing I'm looking at. How do we close here on ES? So on ES, we did close above the bearish 4 hour gap, which is good for the overall bullish thesis here. Come back, retested the trade higher, the daily, hourly. So we have an hourly. So I guess there's a better read here on ES. We have an hourly order block here and a fair value or inverse fair value gap on the 4 hour, which is something I'm paying attention to. I hate using this, but I'm not going to use it. There's literally nothing there. I guess technically it is an order block, but we haven't even broken out of the swing high that we had overnight, right? So yeah, I'm not really a big fan of this price action, if I'm being honest. The more I look at it, we got divergence here with essentially, what was it? Was it the high? Not yet. We took out that swing high, which we already did here. Four-hour, 15-minute. Let's see, how's a 15-minute looking here on the 15-minute? Swing lows, nothing. Yeah, honestly, chat, this is, as much as I want to look for something, there's really nothing I'm really interested in. Given, I mean, we're here to observe, right? I'm going to keep watching, but as of now, like, to create a game plan in an area of interest, there's really nothing. We are delivering, like I said, we are delivering bullish. So that's one thing I'll say. I am bullish, leaning to the upside. Now the question is, where do you find essentially a potential higher low, right? Do we continue from here and trade higher, right? Or do I wait and allow London lows to get taken? But at that point, do we really make this large move in the next hour and a half to then trade higher? I don't really think so. Especially given how we've been trading, right? I'm trying to see if there's any sort of divergence that we've been getting, but no, other than, I guess, here, but yeah, but even then, this action is not really, I'm not a big fan. It's not really a fuck yes. Let's see, let's look at chat. So for now, waiting on price. We do have a giveaway today, and yeah, let's see what we get. Yeah, these just look too pretty. These stacked lows, for me, they look too pretty for price to come down. We do have a 4-hour gap entry there that I do believe we can come back and retest. We are in premium of the range, right? So although I am bullish bias, given how we've been trading, I wouldn't really want to be longing inside of the range, essentially, right? This is the range kind of action we've been getting. And looking at the day's profile, right? The day's profile is giving us data. It's telling us that price through New York, which is the most volatile session, didn't really go anywhere, right? We opened up, traded lower, failed to trade below London lows, traded back up into high of day, failed to break out of pre-market high, essentially London highs, traded back through the during lunch, traded back into the range. We're currently at the upper end of the daily range, right? So there's no clear, I guess you can, direction for me is clear, right? But price is not supporting, right? So for me, at least, the way I look at price is like, I want to create a game plan, a thesis, but I also want price to support that thesis. And if price isn't fluid and delivering the way I want it to deliver, then why am I gonna get in front of price, right? Because price at the end of the day is what rules. Let's see. Long or short bias? Technically long bias, but for now, waiting. I want to see more from price. If we keep honestly getting the same action, and with this in mind as well, coming into this week, the goal is to minimize my trading. Last week, I think I was trying to catch reversals. I was trying to catch literally whatever I saw in price, right? But this week for PM specifically, my goal is to take one trade a day and look to compound into a winning week, essentially, right? So Giovanni, fucking guy, man, it's crazy how people actually remember my fucking middle name. I shouldn't have done that. I literally leaked my government. Giovanita, every time I see you stream, you never... Yeah, literally the only day I didn't take a trade was yesterday, brother. Literally yesterday, Pedro. Ed, it's only the beginning of stream, my guy. Lomeli, how's your flight, brother? It was good. Long, but it was good. Actually, it wasn't even that long. It was like 5.5 hours. Yeah, I literally fasted through my whole flight. I didn't eat shit. I drank water. And first, when I landed, I ate some Shake Shack. That was the only thing that was open at or not the only thing, but I guess the only relatively healthy thing. Yeah, it was good. Market is trash today, to be honest. I'm green, but definitely not taking anything else. Yeah, it's yesterday and today has not been really I looked at what happened through New York yesterday, and it wasn't really the best sort of action. I would have for sure been I think I did a little bit of I guess review at nighttime, and I wouldn't even call it a review, honestly. It was on my phone in bed looking at price, and I think I would have been bullish bias. So yesterday through AM, I think I either would have been cash or taken a loss. But yeah, I literally didn't show up. I didn't show up. I had a flight to catch today, slept in, and yeah, market really isn't really doing much. What I would want to see ideally, chat, is price to pick up and speed up, right? Currently, we're not really getting that here anywhere in any time frame, really. Although we are delivering bullish, I hourly 15-minute. Let's see. The 15-minute comeback. No, not yet. Technically, we're still holding these two 15-minute fair value gaps, right? Technically. Yeah, I want to wait to see more. I want to see us displace past the highs and then potentially catch some sort of like potential higher low into those relative equal highs, or I want to see price displace lower, kind of invalidate bullish structure, and then look to target that 4-hour gap entry with those relative equal lows. So that's kind of like the thoughts that I'm currently having in price. For now, really don't want to be touching this. You just longed YM, fire. I think YM test at least 7. Let's look at YM actually while we're just chilling here. YM took out those relative equal lows down here. Fire. The daily, weekly, monthly, daily. How's the daily looking? The daily just took out that swing low. Similar thing though, we are trading kind of rangy, right? We took out the low, indicating that price does not have eagerness to trade lower past prior week's low, which is a good thing, right? Through overnight, we inverted this bullish gap. So yeah, I would be leaning more. But again, if you look at how price is delivering, right? This is what I mean by price isn't fluid. We're technically respecting this bearish fair value gap on the 4-hour. We are respecting that gap, but we also respected the swing low, where if price really wanted to trade lower, we should have done so at that swing low. So we're currently back in the range. Whenever you see this sort of action, at least with how I trade, right, ICT, when price is stuck in between two fair value gaps and the price action intraday is indicating that price is in fact rangy, and you are able to identify why, the best thing to do is just wait for either a breakout to the upside to continue lower. But trading in the middle of range, in my opinion, especially for PM, right? It's different through AM, in my opinion. I think through AM you get more volatility, but through PM and any other session, in my opinion, I think that the best thing to do is wait for conditions to wait for the dust to settle, right? And have price show you its hand. But if we're looking strictly at the lower time frames here, yeah, this YM is tough as well. Because technically we did deliver away from bearish fair value gap here, right? Lower we don't really have much on the weekly here. We have an order block down below us, but that's about it. Monthly, daily, I guess an order block there at the lows. We got that reaction. Are we at discount? Yes, we are. Are we at OTE? Oops. Yeah, we are OT of the range. So yeah, I would indeed be a little bit leaning more towards the upside, given one the reaction, two where we are, the reaction off the lows, prior week lows. We are at OT of the range, and we are delivering away from a daily order block, right? But price nonetheless is still rangy, right? We essentially got a change in state here on the hourly, traded back into discount, Friday lows. And yeah, if we disrespect this inverse or this fair value gap, I do think we see higher, at least that swing high, right? What about GC, chat? GC. Oh shit, GC completely 5 a.m. Daily. We are currently at a daily bearish order block here on GC. Remove that bearish order block, the new day opening gap, or new week opening gap, sorry. So order block, new day opening gap. Sorry, again, new week opening gap, 4 hour, weekly. Displaced higher into a 4 hour BPR. Weekly. Yeah, the weekly has been rejecting 1, 2, 3, 4. The last essentially month, going into 2 months pretty much. I'd say month and a half. This general area here, which is something to keep in mind. Weekly, which again, chat, is a monthly fair value gap. Yeah, gold has a lot more room for the upside. 3 month on the higher time frames, 6 month. We have a fair value gap here down below us on the 6 month, 1 month. What about silver? I have yet to check silver. Yeah, silver took a fucking massive dump. All right, back to thank you. Back to enough yapping about things I'm not gonna trade, right? 15-minute. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah. So let's see. Waiting for I want to see an extreme to get taken. I want to see London highs to get taken, or the 4 hour gap entry, which I think is less likely given how price is delivering. And guess we unless we get one of those Trump tweets, right? Let's see. Let's pop in with chat. Lomeli, my guy. What's good, playa? Came to check out your stream. My guy, AXP. Appreciate you, my guy. Yeah, literally looking like a potential cash day. I'm not going to speak too soon because we do have another hour, but I want to see an extreme get taken. So let's write that down for... Okay, so let's do 300 likes. And we'll run giveaway. Right? It's pretty interesting. I think we got that pretty quickly yesterday. And then 2, waiting on price to give me to take out stream rangy range day so far. Let's do that. One. Okay. Just popped in. Perfect timing for the breakdown. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, right guy. Giovanni. Hello, Joe. Man, what's up with these fucking god damn. Giovanni. Man, no one through, it's funny, chat, through elementary, through all my schooling years, right? I would never use Giovanni. I've never used Giovanni in my life. No one's ever called me Giovanni. So it's because I did a whoever guessed my middle name. Yeah, Alex gave it away. Yeah, so Alex gave it away. But yeah, regardless, yeah, so it's weird for people to call me that. I don't care. I don't mind it, but it's just like it just, I don't feel like that's my name. Why you want them to force something that's not there? Yeah, exactly. And again, I want to make it known that PM for the most part is going to be more of a rangy session than AM is, right? So as it is, if AM is already rangy and not really fluid, like what else do you expect from PM, right? We're waiting on price to do one of the two things, right? Take out an extreme, take out London highs, with the idea that if we do take it out and the new hourly candle opens, we get some sort of pullback to then trade higher. Or if for whatever reason price wants to be extremely displacive to the downside in the next 40 minutes, and then see if I get a continuation play to the upside. So it's essentially a waiting game, which there's really not much you can do. It's fucking cold in this room. Turn the AC. Yeah, yeah, the other room was fucking hot. Now it's fucking cold. Yeah, turn it up to like 70. It's because it's literally blowing right in my fucking face. Lomeli, where in the world are you at right now? I'm in New York currently. I'm in New York. Nueva York. New York has been, yeah, honestly, New York, the last 3 weeks has been, it's just like I mentioned, the monthly has a, last bars has been a consolidation bar, right? Or I guess you could say a pause. This month is looking like we're getting the same thing. I think the actual choppiness, if you want to call it, or the sloppy delivery will come once we tap into a fair value gap, either this one, that one, or maybe we trade lower, right, into an order block down here or whatever. But I do think that minimum we trade into this level, and then we get some sort of cleaner delivery away from price, maybe to create another all-time high. But I think for now, where we are, given the monthly and how the weekly is, right, the weekly is clearly confirming the overall, I guess, idea on the monthly. And even if we zoom in a little bit more on the daily's just been back and forth, especially the last 2 weeks. It's been up, down, no clear direction. And it goes to show, right, when we zoom in on the lower time frame, sure, there's trading opportunities, but you have to be very selective and very patient. Otherwise, you will get chopped around. And through these weeks is where most, in my opinion, most what would you call them, unprofitable or most traders, I take that back. Now, most traders just overall struggle more when conditions are rangy, both on higher time frames and lower time frames, right? Because it's less fluid, less directional, and more noise, right? If we look at this action on the 4 hour compared to any of this action to the left of us, right, it's a lot less clear on where price wants to go, right? Spain versus France. Oh, they played today, right? Spain versus France. I got, man, that's a tough one. I think France. Chart's looking like some shit. Yeah, I agree. You said, should I expect any trade or are the charts looking poop? I just woke up. I think I don't expect much, but again, I'm waiting for price, right? Anything can happen, right? If we break out of the range and continue, the new hourly candle closes or opens at in the next like 35 or so minutes, then I would potentially look for a trade up into prior week highs, which is also relative equal highs. But it all depends. Literally, I don't want to be trading this range. What's up, Giovanni? Any giveaways today? Yes, sir. We have a giveaway running once we hit 300 likes. Yo, Lomeli, how are you? Are you traveling? Yes, I am in New York, Felipe. You ever trade YM? Never. Ever, ever, ever. Never, ever. Well, literally strictly NQ. Although the last 2 weeks I've been kind of wanting to trade ES, but you know, I think conditions will settle and NQ will come back to how it was trading. Man, been taking some losses since Friday. Last week, lost my funded account today. Damn glad got my max payout, but I'm so annoyed with myself for blowing up like that. Yeah, Fedo, it's part of the game, brother. I think that again, don't beat yourself too much, but I think that if you proved yourself that you can get a payout, right? You're further than 90% of traders, right? I think you just take a break, maybe for a day, weekend, maybe a week, right? But don't over exceed it, right? Take a little quick mental pause. Maybe it's just simply a day. But literally detach, right? Don't let it consume you and then come back and run it up again. Are you Italian? No, I am Mexican. I logged it hoping for a high because I was bored. Yeah, that's the one thing that I guess that I want to make it known, right? The fact that if some days I wake up in the morning and I really don't have a read. Today I have a read, but I don't like action, right? So two things needs to set up for me to actually take a trade, right? The read on market has to be, I have to have a read on market. Otherwise I'm not interested, and price action has to confirm that read. If one of the two things doesn't align for either my AM or PM, I'm not taking anything, right? Specifically my AM, right? Now, if price is displacive to the upside, but I don't have a read and I don't know why it's doing that, then I'm not taking a trade. Although price is displacive. Now, when price displaces to the upside and I get some sort of read, maybe, okay, we inverted this bearish gap. We have this high up above us. A pullback here would be nice for me to take along. Then price kind of made its way, showed me its hand, and now I have a read, right? So it's one of the two things has to align. I'm not just taking this long because I have a read, right? Because I know well enough that price can do its, excuse my language, bullshit and come back down just to go back up higher, especially in conditions like we've been having, right? I'm aware of how price has been trading. I'm aware how the daily looks. I'm aware how the weekly looks. I'm aware how the 4 hour is. We are in premium of the range. So it would only make sense for price to pull back before we trade higher in ranging conditions, right? Premium and discount thrives in ranging markets, right? Ranging markets, price goes from premium to discount to premium. And although I am bullish, I am not confident in taking anything given, just simply look at the hourly. Look at the hourly since market open, since 6 a.m., right? Is that high probable conditions? Yo, I'm in New York. Let's meet up. My guy, fuck, potentially. How's it feel being on the East Coast schedule? Bro, honestly, I think the East Coast schedule is goated. I think if, and I think I mentioned it earlier, I would want to live in the earlier as in like prior streams, I would want to live in the East Coast at some point, ideally like Florida, just to experience this time zone as a trader. And Florida specifically, like I love the beaches there. I love the weather. Yeah, more so just the time, right? You wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. refreshed, and you hop on the charts, and your working day, quote unquote, is done by 11, 12. And I mean, shit, it's amazing. But yeah, today I guess I woke up fucking, what time did I wake up at? 11? What your buy is? Currently on sidelines, looking for upside. Yo, the boy J King, my guy, what's up, brother? Adam, my guy, what's up? What's up? What's up, bro? Was the flight was good. No trades today thus far. I didn't show up AM. Flight was good. Flight was good. Can't complain. Yo, Lomeli, welcome to the East Coast, my guy. Appreciate the love. You are love Israel. Yeah, I love everyone. Move to Florida. Yeet. Yeah, I think. Man, I don't know. Yeah, it's been in the back of my. Yeah, there's just, yeah. It's a lot that I've been kind of going back and forth with mentally. Honestly, I do. I do. I love the hot and humid weather. Honestly, I love I love hot weather. Only if there's beaches around. I'm a big. I love the beach. And the bad thing about California is that the beaches here they're not hot. The only time it makes it enticing for me to get in the beach is when it's fucking hot outside, and it's only maybe like a month out of the year that is super, super hot. I mean, it's hot year round, right? But when it actually feels good getting in the water. Are you going to the World Cup finals? No, shit. I was looking at ticket prices earlier and they're fucking expensive. But I'll see. I think Thursday is when they play here, right? RX. I love hot too. Cold water in Cali. Yeah, it's too cold. Yeah, it's hella cold. How much for the World Cup tickets? Let's look it up. I literally had it popped up. World Cup tickets. Let's see. So July, we got seat tickets today. What's the date today? So that's tomorrow in Georgia. MetLife. So this would be July 19th. Let's do for one, just one. Continue. For some decent seats, you're looking at 30 grand, 20 grand, 45 grand, 13 grand. Even if we go to the back end, right? Which, man, I don't know. 8 grand, 7 grand. You got 12 grand. Ideally, if I would want to go, I'd want to sit somewhere in the middle. I'm not paying those fucking 60 grand. 15. Yeah, even 15 grand's a lot for me. That's a lot. Why am I gonna front? That's a lot for me. I think if anything, if these middle seats were, it depends on this is the thing with sports. How big of a fan are you? How big of a soccer fan are you? And how much is a lot for you, right? If I was I love soccer, right? I grew up playing it, but if I was a huge diehard Argentina fan for whatever reason. And these middle rows were, say, about 7, maybe 6 grand each, 7 grand, I would for sure attend. But I'm not paying no fucking 15 grand, 20 grand just to... I mean, that's for one, right? You keep in mind, it's me and my girlfriend, so you're looking at 30 grand. Fuck no. Fuck no. I passed this account this morning, now funded. Just wanted to say appreciate you. My guy, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. It's slow and steady, the boy J King. Slow and steady. To sit in nosebleeds, you got to put a car payment down with the fuck. Yeah, bro, literally. Literally. If I wanted to go 30 grand minimum, that's a fucking a car. The down payment to a house. But I mean, it goes back to like if I was really a diehard soccer fan, like I guess, you know, pull out that Affirm, make your payments. Sheesh, I thought Knicks finals. Yeah, bro. If you look at, keep this in mind, chat. Watch. If we look at the actual finals, third place final. Oh wait, no, that is the final, right? Okay, that was okay, chat. That was for the final. Argentina and England. Let's see. You see, something like this isn't too bad. It's not too bad. Where's this at? Georgia? Is this in that dome? Yeah, okay, it is in the Mercedes. The good thing about this stadium is that you don't get, I'm assuming there's shade and you don't really get hot, so it's a nice experience, I'm guessing. But again, yeah, I'm not I'll watch the games, but I'm not that big of a soccer fan to go. Yeah, same, man, girly. But Argentina will lose. Who are they playing against? They playing let's see. It's Argentina versus let's see. You got France. No, wait. Yeah, France and Spain. Today, tomorrow, Argentina and England. Yeah, that's gonna be a fucking good game. I think tomorrow, I'm for sure find somewhere to go and watch it here in New York. Yeah, England has been doing good, and I mean Argentina's Argentina, but Argentina came close to fucking losing, right? Versus Iran, was it? No, Egypt. Sorry, Egypt, and yeah. So I think England takes it. France takes it. The final would be France versus England. That's what I think. C8 down payment, sir. Bro, literally. Exactly. Exactly. I'd rather take someone out for a business expense for that rate. Bro, honestly. Yeah, literally, like for me, like I don't know, I'm very good with like managing my money, right? So I don't know, the way my brain works is like, just for example purposes, Inter Milan was playing in San Jose, what was it, like a year ago, and it's I mean the people still go crazy, right? But a ticket for that would be what if I was a really big Messi fan and for whatever reason. But again, I take that back. Rewind. It is the World Cup. It is the biggest sporting event in the world. I was gonna say if I was really a big sporting, like a Messi fan, for example, I would just buy a ticket like such, right? And go experience that, go watch him play for a fraction of the price. But again, I do understand there's big diehard soccer fans that live and die by this. And again, I grew up playing soccer my whole life, so it was a big part of my life. But I was never was really big into watching it like that. But again, I don't get it twisted. I am gonna watch the games. World Cup is 100 times bigger than the NBA final. Yeah, it is. It's the biggest sporting event in the world, right? London town. I like Holland. I like Holland. If all four players would like him out. Yeah, I was rooting for Holland to kind of come further in this World Cup, potentially like in the finals. But let me down, man. Egypt. You right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a very passionate sport for sure. Will you be watching France in 30? Probably not, honestly. Probably not. Probably not. I think I'm gonna go out and see what I do here. Literally have all I did was leave the hotel just to go get food. And I picked up some blackberries or blueberries with water and a banana. So you got to win the lottery for the original tickets and go to yeah, literally pre-buy the tickets. Yeah, that's what a boy of mine did as well. What he did was he pre-bought I think it was Portugal who played in Miami. And then he just flipped the tickets. He sold them for a lot more, which it's interesting how that works. The whole market for that. When was the last time you had fast food? You know what's crazy, MES Polar Bear? For the last, what is it, 2.5 weeks. All right, I'm lying, maybe 3 weeks. I've been eating nothing but Whole Foods, right? And last night was the first time I had a fast food in the last 3 weeks, and I had a lettuce wrapped 3x3 from Shake Shack. And today, not gonna lie, my girl, she wanted to go get coffee, and she had her breakfast, and I stopped at Whole Foods and I got myself some eggs and blueberries. But yeah, so dinner will be happening tonight. I will eat, but even then, I'm not eating fast food really. I'll probably eat at a steakhouse, and yeah, probably eat at a steakhouse and see what we get. See what I'm feeling. Yeah, but I'm not trying to overdo it too. I'm also trying to enjoy the food, so a little good mixture of both. Staying locked in, but also I can tell you very clean, my guy. Yeah, fuck yeah. Try to at least, especially lately. I've been trying to dial everything in, right? I've been trying to dial in the sleep, which fuck. Honestly, the 8 sleep is amazing. I slept here at a normal bed, quote unquote. Not the same. The 8 sleep, literally, just the temperature change is fucking amazing. How many calories do you think you eat per day? So I stopped tracking, but if I were to guess, the last 3 weeks have been on the lower end. I would say anywhere from 2,000 to 2,600, depending on the day. But yeah, for me to be in a deficit, I'd be probably like 2,100, 2,200 calories, which I did a shit ton of tracking, but yeah, I've been losing some weight. What brought you out to New York? Nothing, just a change of scenery. Might have to get it, bro. Yeah, it's I still want to give it its full review, because at the end of the 14 days, I think I only slept on it like, what was it, 6 or 7 days? 6, 7. I only slept on it that long, and I think it takes about 14 days to calibrate to you. So I'm excited to see what that brings. Sparks has an excellent sirloin steak, but you only have the choice of sirloin or filet mignon. Get the 3-pound lobster as an appetizer. I'm literally screenshotting that. Might have to check it out. Peter Luger Steakhouse. You are. I'm actually 200. So I hover between 215 to 25 pounds. I am 6'2". So I'm a big dude. So yeah, and for me to, like, when I went to Costa Rica, I dropped down to 210, I believe. Yeah. That temperature change sounds so nice. I like it. Ice cold when I fall asleep and just wrap. Yeah, bro. And then like in the middle of the night, like towards 5 a.m., it starts heating up and it feels fucking amazing. So you're like literally cozy. You go from being like cold all night, or not cold, but like really good temperature, to being cozy. So we're getting some volatility here slightly, but not really. We'll see what we'll see if we get a, yeah, we'll see if we get a big sell-off. Otherwise, again, this has been the action here for those that are just tuning in throughout the whole stream. Again, dude, there's not much I can really do here, honestly. Same thing as yesterday, right? Do not go to Peter Luger's if you want. If you want that style, Benjamin is so much better. Benjamin, fasting has helped me lose weight. Yeah, fuck yeah. And then another thing I've kind of been getting rid of too was coffee. Yesterday, first day I had coffee in like 2 weeks. Yeah, just kind of experimenting with it as well, right? Yeah, probably more than likely get a coffee today as well. So we'll see if we get back in that rhythm. We moving now? Fuck yeah, bro. Look at GC. Okay, big boy, bro. I was about to say, because I saw your one IG post and you have 20 stars. Appreciate you, brother. No, yeah, I'm pretty heavy. Get on that green tea, bro. And I hate green tea. I hate the taste. I'm not gonna lie. Holy shit, we are at 367 likes. Fucking chat. Appreciate you guys. 367 likes. Let's see if we can break 400. Well, I mean, we'll run the giveaway regardless, but man, appreciate you guys. Yeah, it takes literally 1 second to like the video and it really pushes it out. So you guys are amazing. You take any peptides? No. I'm very health conscious. So taking anything outside of just what my body's intended to do kind of like freaks me out. I get to thinking maybe fucking all those peptide users in 20 years develop some sort of brain tumors and fuck their life. Yeah, that's where my head goes, given it's literally not natural. So, but yeah, have I looked into them? Yes, and it's fucking like anything that is out of the normal just fucking creeps me out. Yeah, facts, literally. That's how I think. I don't know. And I know certain people, and that's just my over analytical brain. Maybe that's what it is, but maybe, man, I always kind of found it interesting how certain people don't question shit and they just do it, which I think is majority of people, which that cannot be me. Even from selecting what I eat for the day, I sit down and think about it. So shit, talking about peptides, you best believe I take at least a week to look into it. How's the first cup of coffee hit after been on a break? You know what's crazy? Like the first 2 days, I had the biggest fucking headaches. And yes, I didn't even have regular coffee. I had decaf. So yeah, if I'm really explaining everything I've been doing, I'd go on a rant. But I removed dairy from my diet, and coffee, and was eating all whole foods and literally just drinking water. And so yesterday, I guess I had a dairy test. So I drank milk with decaf coffee. Today, I'll probably do the same, reintroduce dairy. And again, I don't really talk about this much, but I am very, I like to experiment with diets and stuff like that. So gonna pay the price later. Yeah, I mean, hopefully not, but that's I don't know. That's just where my brain goes. I don't know how they got so popular. It's all the marketing game at the end of the day. Bro said a dairy test. No, it's just be literally removing dairy is to see if, because I don't know. Bro said dairy test TikTok. No, you know what's crazy? Why I did that? I met this dude in Costa Rica, and he got me thinking. He basically, and I think I talked about it on stream. he has his farm. He plants his own food, and he was talking to me about diet and how he has certain retreats that he built this whole farm for like retreats for people. And he just started talking to me about dairy and about food he eats and everything. And he really preached on how dairy wasn't really he preached on dairy and how it was essentially bad, right? And again, I was like, you know what, let me try it. But I never take anything to face value, right? I have to experiment myself and see if there's anything I notice, right, with how I feel. Yeah, you offer someone a drug that will make them lose weight, you think they're gonna choose a diet exercise? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same thing with like the BBLs and shit. Yeah, they take the easy way out, man. Said hitting the gym. Man, this hourly on NQ could be 1, 2, 3, but wouldn't trust it, to be honest. Yeah, I don't trust this. Especially in these times, yeah, facts. And I think the social media doesn't help at all. I mean, it helps in certain aspects, right? It brings exposure to things, but with more exposure brings more everything. 425 likes. How is that even possible? The fuck? Like, Chad, just keep moving the number up, huh? 500. What do you think about whey protein? I've seen stuff about how it sticks to your gut. Yeah, I stopped. Honestly, I've never been a big protein consumer, but I go through waves, I guess. But yeah, I'd say for the last 10 years, I probably bought 3-4 protein tubs, which is not much. We got bots the other night. Alan had like 800 plus likes. Yeah, like it makes, yeah, how does that even work? Yeah, oh, okay. But I mean, even then for Alan, like yesterday I popped in, he had 600 concurrent viewers, right? So for him, 800 likes I don't think it's that far-fetched. Someone botting the giveaways. 500. Yeah, someone's for sure botting this shit. There's 472 likes. 500. Yeah, okay. Yeah, chat. There's 560 likes currently. Someone's for sure botting this shit. Yeah, unless botting for Chat, what have we gotten to? Chat, we botting for giveaways? There's yeah, look at the concurrent likes, watch. Or not concurrent, like look at the current likes is 560, at least for me. There's literally 650 likes. We literally gained 100 likes in the last 10 seconds. Let's see whoever's botting, get us to 1,000 likes. 1,000 likes and we'll run a giveaway. Let's see. $683. He's listening. 743. Yeah, we're getting to 1,000 likes, chat. 1,000 likes. 1,000 likes, chat. Yeah, at this point, we're getting to 1,000. Come on, Botter, get us to 1,000. What if he answers with 700? I guess I didn't think about that, chat. What if the same botter enters with like 700 accounts? The CPI earlier was nasty so long. Hope you guys cashed it too. All this and bro wouldn't even win at the end. Yeah, we'll run the giveaway manually. We'll run the giveaway manually, and I'll select a name that I've been seeing consistently. That way it's yeah, so there's currently 900 likes, chat. How many giveaway entries today? Just one. Have you ever been a Cyprus? No. Cyprus. My bad, chat. I read Cyprus. And my girl in the back row corrected me. She said Cyprus. Never been to Cyprus. Must be. Yeah, I genuinely don't. Yeah, we're definitely getting to 1,000. How does that even work? People create fake accounts and are you in France too? Am I rooting for France? Does your girl trade? No. I've tried to get her into it, but no, she doesn't like it. Are you looking for she texted me, she said I trade items for cash. Well, I guess if that's what you call a trader. The bot hit 1,000 likes? Ain't no way. Did we hit 1,000 likes? How do they even do? Yeah, I'm in the same. I don't even know. Mbappe on top. Oh, did they start playing already? By the way, I created the bot so you can choose me. At this point, I don't even know what to believe. Can't stop botting at the finish line. You can't just edge his botter. Nah, that is kind of weird, right? I don't know how that happened. Yeah, so the concurrent viewers, I understand. Like there's people coming in and out, and those viewers are literally just the concurrent ones. Overall, there's a couple thousand, but even then, yeah, it's the way it's for sure a bot. How come 168 people and 360 936 likes? It's like chat just lie to everyone tuning in like, yeah, it's just me, bro. What can I say? For everyone popping in, we got motion. That's funny. Huh? Try not to shoot. Gio got motion. Oh shit. Gio got motion. Anyone know what? I use YouTube. I pay on YouTube. What is it? Fox One, I think it is, or yeah, I pay on YouTube. You in Manhattan, dog? Yeah, I am. Yeah, so not really much. I wish I can. Yeah, it's looking like a potential cash day, if I'm being honest. Oh shit. LimeWire. 943 likes. Yeah, the bots literally edged us, chat. Yeah, I think what we'll run now is the giveaway. I'll go ahead and select someone from stream that has been a consistent, I guess, chatter. All you guys got to do is spam chat. Or how about this? Don't spam chat. Let me rephrase that. Hold on. How should we do this? You guys will spam. No, hold on. You guys got to spam. Let's see. Spam. Fuck. What should they spam, Alex? I don't think so. Spam botter. Spam bot. Fuck it. You guys are already doing so. That way it's not too quick of a chat. Spam bot, and I will select a name that has been consistent. Let's see. All right, ready? A name that I know chat will also recognize. Let's see. Someone that's been consistent. Someone that's been consistent. Someone that's been consistent. Adam, have you won, brother? Adam Sunshine, have you won? I know you've been here since day one, I see. Adam Sunshine, have you won? If so, we'll run it again. Okay, you won one from break. All right, let's do it again, chat. Again, spam bot. Bro, I love you guys. Yeah, I just recognized your name from literally day one, and I was like, all right, let's see. A name that everyone will recognize would be MES. Hello, bots. MES Polar Bear, have you won, brother? MES Polar Bear, have you won? I know everyone recognizes MES Polar Bear. Yeah, you won. Shit. Okay. Again. Again. All right, let's keep botting. Keep spam bot. Let's see. Again, chat. Again. Temporary FZ. You've been consistent in the last couple of weeks. Have you won before? Thank you, though. Yeah, I got you, MES. Let's go, bro. What the fuck? So you, my God, no, I've never won. All right, Temporary FZ. You are the winner. Reach out to me on Instagram at Lomeli Trades. And I got you with a, yeah, I've seen your name pop up throughout the weeks, and I know chat has as well. So congrats, my guy. Why? I don't have Insta, bro. What the fuck? I only have Twitter. Fuck. Shit, chat. What do we do? Do you have let's see. What can we do here? Shit. Are you able to make an Instagram? Yeah, it takes like a couple. I'll give you my Discord. Can you make one? Yeah, all right. Make one, and whenever you do, reach out to me. Hopefully you make one while I'm on stream, so we can. If you need help, I got you. Got you to my guy. Appreciate it, brother. It's Lomeli Trades, so it's linked up on the Streamlabs here. Run it back. Be back tomorrow, Chris. I got you. Salute, man. God is good. Yeah. I think it's and again, chat, don't be discouraged if you have yet to be selected. Those who have been like your time's coming, right? Like I know Biology has been consistent, NQ Girly has been consistent, the Alex, Codmobile, what's it called? Ray. All these names I recognize. I'm aware. It's just whatever. It's just luck of the draw, I guess. Donna, seen your name a couple times. Vish. So yeah, you're like, I recognize your names. It's just, I guess, luck at that end, right? But don't be discouraged. We got plenty more giveaways to do, and I won last. Yeah, so there you go. And again, once I'm back home, we'll run the Streamlabs for a couple days, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Tomorrow caught as the winner, Lomeli. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, temporary FZ, just reach out to me once you do, and we'll see if we get that situated here. So we're getting a pullback here on price, chat. Let's see. Probably 1204. ES is pulling back into that hourly order block, and we have a inverse fair value up here on the 4 hour. Let's just draw it out. What I'd want to see here, chat, honestly, is price to displace lower. But then trade into London lows, into that 545 level. The price needs to essentially give us speed. So we'll see if we get that in the next 15 or so minutes. But if we stay in this range, I'm not. Don't forget me, my guy, JD, VWAP, my guy, yeah. RJV. What are the chances of winning another giveaway second time? It's all dependent on time. I think that, and I've asked Jake this question too, and his response was there's no specific time frame. It's just like if you won, I'm assuming week one of week 1 or 2 of the streams, right? So literally like 2 months ago, you could potentially pass by, right? But if you won last week or even like 4 weeks ago, I would say just hold off, right? YM moving, sir. Let's see. I don't trade YM, but I'll check it out. Yeah, I'm not interested in trading it. Big divergence though between YM and NQ. I'll check out the DM right now, temporary. Let me check it out now, just in case. I know you just set it up. Oh yeah, I got you. I got your DM. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Just DM'd you, brother. Let me get you a code after stream here, and we'll go from there. It's a spam ass name. Nah, you're good, brother. Yeah, those accounts are just a trade on stream. Awesome funded account today in CPI. I've made some in other evals. Fire, fire. In CPI, did you trade the CPI announcement? Or how did that go? Hourly. So we did tap into the hourly order block here on ES. Sorry, not on ES, on NQ. Which is here. We'll see if that's the driving force to push us higher. How's a 5-minute looking here? 5-minute. One thing I'm noticing is how the 5 minutes being delivered here. Last down candle before the up move. It's respected. Last down candle before the up move. Respected. And now, last down candle before the up move. Respected. Right. Per hour, 1 hour. Just something I'm paying attention to, not looking to trade off of it, but something I'm looking and paying attention to for those that are in anything. The CRT for the 15-minute. Yeah, I love to use that, honestly. I don't specifically have a name for it, but it's just essentially failures and looking at time the closures, right? That's all it is. Like if you're 5 minutes into the 15-minute bar and we take out prior bars low and we are trading back in it with the large wick to the downside and you get an entry, right? What that tells me is that price is gonna more than likely continue. So we traded into a man, let me see. Let me delete this chat. We did trade into the hourly order block. Just not a big fan of the delivery thus far. We're in discount of this leg. We are in a order block essentially here. On the 15-minute. We are basically respecting bullish order flow here on the 15-minute as far as these two 15-minute gaps go. Understanding delivery through today, right? The 5-minute order blocks have been respected and tested. We have an invert here, right? We have an invert. Swing high. Four hour, 1 hour. Man, that's enticing here. Do we have any divergence here with ES? We do. Four-hour. So again, ES just tapped into that order block. How's a 30-minute looking? 30-minute, we do have a fair value gap here. That long is enticing, I'm not gonna lie. Something like that. That's enticing, I'm not gonna lie. I might look to take it here. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a shot here, chat. Gonna give it a shot. So I'm in longs here with the stop at the low. Targeting the highs by something like this. We're rejecting the hourly order block. We're rejecting the 30-minute fair value gap. We are 4 hour. We got to change the state on the 4 hour. On ES, we inverted the bullish gap. 15-minute is trading back into that order block here. So we'll see. Again, it's not the cleanest price action, but willing to give it a shot. Our last 15-minute bar's closure was pretty decent. Again, part of me is kind of, but the read is decent enough to put on risk, but we'll see. Hourly. Come on, 4 hour. 15-minute. Where's the opening print here? Opening print is right here. So NQ opening print is there. Yeah, we'll see what we get here, chat. Yeah, if I were to classify this setup, it'd be maybe B- max. Just given conditions. It's still looking decent, still looking good. P&L stuck. Oh, you know what? It's because I'm flipping back and forth through. Okay, so I'll do my best to keep refreshing. It's because whenever I flip back and forth through screens, trading view and my other windows, it freezes whatever window I'm not on. So it's currently frozen. I'll try to flip back and forth every minute or so, which fucking sucks. Yeah, because if I flip to the P&L screen, it freezes that. It freezes my trading view charts. As you guys can see now, my trading view charts are frozen, but my P&L is working. What? Oh, thank you. I don't need it. I am close. It is, right? Fucking. Let's see. How's a 5-minute looking here? 5-minute close the next minute. How's ES here looking? This will more than likely be my one and only. Or not more than likely, it will be my one and only. So we'll see if we get a pump here towards end of day, or we just get ticked out. Yeah, I do think that if we take out the 878 level, I do think London highs would be taken as well. What are we in? I am in NQ. Still in YM gang? Fuck yeah. See you on Mars, G. Need a portable monitor for travel to have a dual monitor set. Yeah, I think that's what I need. I think I need a... I didn't think I did, but I do need a different monitor. That way the switching doesn't glitch with the stream. And I guess I didn't really think about that until I have issues with it. Penalty Spain? Sheesh. Are you watching the game? You're watching the game? Yeah. Put it on. Swear, how much? What's the time? What's the time? It's 2-0? France is winning? Oh, you're lying to me? What's the score? Chat. You're lying to me. Yeah, she's lying to me. Yeah, that's what chat said. Nah. Yeah, for Spain, I believe, right? But we are pumping, chat. It's looking good so far. Oh, shit. Spain is up 1-0. Yes, sir. Look, let me show chat. Chat, Mbappe is heated, right? Spain pumping the market. Damn, Chad, I'm a few minutes behind. Who? I don't know. We just got a break above prior bars high on the 15-minute. The 5-minute. I'm looking to see it close above essentially the change in state here. So hopefully we see that closure. But again, chat, whether it's the trade is where it's at in drawdown or up in profit, I'll probably end the stream here in the next 7 minutes or so, just so I can go and get out the hotel room for once. What's up, Lomeli? Got in the stream late today, just barely woke up. How's this one rips for you? Hope this one rips for you. And chat, my guy, appreciate you, Aaron. Need the pump it up song? Is that what we need, chat? Now I'm gonna leave it behind so I stop flipping back and forth. Just so I stop flipping back and forth. Ready? You ready? I'll be ready by 12:30. Yeah. I saw you were in. I saw your IG. Are you always based in SF? That's where I fly out of. Yeah, but I live an hour south of San Francisco. So we got that flip on the 4 hour here on ES, but not on NQ. Yeah, it's not looking yeah, what else can you really ask for in this condition? The trade idea came off of ES or NQ rebalancing off of that little order block here. Let's remove this. Let's clean it up. Rebalancing off that after delivering basically bullish throughout Asia, London, and New York after trading away from discount, right? The draw for me is higher at the relative equal highs, right? So with that in mind, I'm not really liking the delivery that we're getting from AM, right? But the trade into the order block here on the hourly, the 30-minute fair value gap, right? 15-minute order block, 5-minute order block was enough for me to take a stab. And again, chat, unfortunately, I will have to pop out of here in the next 3 or so minutes. Yeah, I think that I don't think the trade. Yeah, letting it do its thing essentially. YM pump is YM pumping? Yeah, YM is moving slightly better. Yeah, we'll see what we get, chat. Laters, man. My guy, appreciate you for watching, brother. No, you're fine. Yeah, if we don't hold the opening print, this is going to look rough. Again, do we get divergence here? Technically, yes. Yeah, once again, ES is the one with relative equal strength compared to NQ. So we'll see how that holds. Thank you as always. Manage my MES short as well. Got stopped out for 1 hour. Manage my rules for the T. Lomeli, our conversation has been helpful on the front. Helping me on the front. He sticks to my rules. My guy, yeah, that's amazing. Honestly, that's what I'm here for, and that's what I think these streams are for. Honestly, if you take one thing to heart and you actually implement it, I promise you your trading will change. Man, this is... Yeah, fuck you. Just got taken out. All right, chat. That's it for me. I can't... Man, it's honestly frustrating. For PM stream, I can't get a winner. I can't catch a winner. I think my last, like, 4 or 5 trades have been red. Yesterday was cash, and today was a loss. But yeah, that's it for me, chat. Yeah, it's a little frustrating, but it is what it is, right? That's trading, and yeah, that's it for me. I'll be back tomorrow, same time. Rog will be on here after me. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.